Before we get into today's topic, I do want to let you all know that I'll be taking 3 days off come Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and I'll be back hopefully on Tuesday. I need a bit of a rest because this has taken a huge toll on my mental health and just physical health. And doing this is a lot of work, and I haven't taken a break since. And well, it's really shown. So I want to take some time away from doing this and just enjoy some of my life. And then hopefully I'll be back on Tuesday. Okay. So, yeah, just want to let you all know about that. Now, today we're going to be looking at Ana Kasparian. If you don't know who she is, she's a commentator, very well known. She works for Cenk Uygur, the Fred Flintstone of the radical leftist group, the same man that had a breakdown on his own damn show, started yelling and screaming, looked like he was about to have a heart attack, which was quite entertaining, not going to lie. And during the same segment, so it seems like Cenk and Ana are both outraged by what Israel is doing, especially with Iran and over in Gaza at the moment. By the way, Trump has announced that they're going to get a 60-day ceasefire. We'll see how long that lasts, shall we? Now, Hamas has got to actually come to the table and release the hostages and end the war. Basically, that's what needs to happen. But I'm not holding my breath that they will. Okay. But during the same segment that you saw Cenk almost blow some veins out of his head, Ana Kasparian also decided to go on her own rage. Here is an American woman working for a Muslim man, and she is defending the Muslim. Go figure, right? Here it is.
This is the country, by the way, that has a clandestine nuclear weapons program. They have nuclear weapons. They're not part of the non-proliferation agreement. They are currently engaged in Palestinians in Gaza. They plan on annexing the entirety of the West Bank, a territory that belongs to the Palestinian people. And they have the audacity to talk about what a threat Iran is when Iran has shown on multiple occasions a level of restraint that blows my mind. Okay, Israel bombs the Iranian embassy in Syria. How does Iran respond? They wait a few days and then they hit up Trump, they hit up the Israeli government, and they let them know we're gonna do a theater, essentially, make it appear like we're retaliating. But here's where the missiles are gonna go, so you can strike them down. Okay, you have the United States, doing Israel's dirty work in bombing Iran nuclear facilities. And how does Iran respond? Okay, we're gonna retaliate, but it's all gonna be pretend. We're gonna target these US bases in the Middle East, but we're gonna warn you ahead of time so no one gets hurt, so we can at least make it appear as though we're retaliating for our people. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm getting really tired of hearing about how the country of Israel is the good country, the moral country, the country that should have illegal, nuclear weapons that they don't even acknowledge. And the ones that we should worry about the most are the Iranians because they do chants that we don't like. Get out of here.
Look. Level of restraint that blows my mind. Well, I think what also would blow your mind, Anna, is if Iran had a nuclear weapon, which they now don't, thanks to Israel and the US. And also, Anna, what should blow your mind is learning that Khomeini and all of the Iranian minions, about 20% of them, have been chanting death to America. That means you, Anna, because you're living in America. And weren't you attacked recently? Maybe you should think very, very carefully before you go defending an Islamic regime like Iran. And they're showing an enormous amount of restraint. Right. Because they don't want to be bombed into oblivion. That's probably why they're showing a great deal of restraint, Anna. Ever thought about that? They let Bibi and Trump know their retaliation plan. That's still, they're retaliating, right? But it's not like what you'd imagine it would be. Because you know why? If they did retaliate, like they wanted to retaliate, if they had a nuclear bomb, which they want to use it on Israel, let's just say, for example, they had all this ready to go and they used it. I think we'd be having a very different discussion, very different turn of events. Don't you, Anna? Oh, no, no. According to Anna, she's right about this. She knows exactly what she's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And according to Anna, Israel is the baddie for having nuclear weapons that they haven't declared. So we don't officially know. I mean, I believe they do have nuclear weapons, but they haven't used them. Okay. They've got nuclear weapons, but they haven't launched any. So what's your problem, Anna? But yet you want to trust an Islamic regime that's chanted death to America and wanted to kill Trump. You are entrusting nuclear weapons to that group of people. Right. That seems like a very logical thing to do, doesn't it, Anna? And you claim to be America first, right? But no, what you really are is pro-Islam, and these dingbats always running cover for Islamic Iran, saying it's very much like Joy Reid saying, well, you know, if Iran had nuclear weapons, there probably would be peace in the Middle East because they probably would use it against Israel, and then we wouldn't have any of these attacks. Wow, that was truly something else. And now Anna is pretty much running cover for the exact same thing. Why? Because her boss sitting right next to her just blew a gasket, almost had a heart attack right before her very eyes, saying, you always blame the Muslim. Well, the vast majority of the time, it is the Muslim. Have you read the Quran, Cenk and Anna? I don't think they really have. I think they're just going, we're real people. Muslim lives matter. Iranian Muslim lives matter. Well, Iranian people's lives certainly do matter, but I don't want them having a nuclear weapon so they can use against the West. No, thank you very much. I think what Trump did was great. I think Trump and Israel did the right thing in this case, but according to Anna Kasparian, she knows best. And it's all because, ladies and gentlemen, of what Israel's doing in Gaza. Oh, so Israel trying to get the hostages back and trying to wipe out Hamas. Oh, no. Israel is committing the genocide thing in Gaza. Dear, oh dear. So we can't allow Israel to do that to Iran that could have a nuclear weapon, which could be devastating to the West. Ever thought about that for 5 seconds? No, she hasn't, because she's a dingbat. Nut job. Absolute nut job. Like the whole 1 minute something clip. By the way, it goes on and it gets worse. Then Cenk Uygur joins in. I watched it. It's just one of those, how do I describe it? One of those very, very painful episodes to stomach and try and digest. Let me just say that very, very clearly. So what I don't get is the amount of American commentators that are coming out, all because they seemingly hate Israel, they're coming out supporting terror. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. They're showing their true colors. I wonder what side they would actually choose, push come to shove, if they were invaded by Islam. And it looks like they are being invaded by Islam. Huh. Anyway, that's enough from me. You guys take care. Be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.